Alright, let's do this one. I got a fishing pole. There's a story behind it. Now check this baby out. This is Goldie. Matsu. Now I got this at Walmart, I believe. I mean, it's a good looking pole. Medium reel. It gets my 8 to 10 pound test on here real nicely. One of my favorite rods. I cut the tip off because I didn't like the action, but once I got the action right on this, I took the tip off this, and this to me is just the right action for carp and catfishing. Okay, so down at Lake Mead, down there with Derek. If you take Lake Mead Boulevard here in Vegas and you keep taking it out of town, heading east, you'll head towards the lake, and then you Lakeshore Drive is where it ends. Now when you get down to Government Wash, if you look on Google Maps, it says that's still Lake Mead Boulevard, and it shows you on the map it going all the way through Government Wash, down to this little hill, and then down to this peninsula, this point. And it says that's actually the end of Lake Mead Boulevard. So you could take Lake Mead Boulevard all the way to the lake and then drive into the lake. But there's this peninsula out there. And lots of people fish there. Mostly people, they're out there doing stripers, fishing stripers. But, you know, I don't striper fish much. I'm mostly a carp and cat guy. So, me and Dee are down there at the point. Right down at the point. We got shotgun. We're right down there. And we do our overnighter. So, nighttime comes, and I set this pole out for the night. I've got it secured. And I got a bell on the end. And I'm pretty confident that I'll hear it go off. And anyway, I sleep through the night, which is not very often. I don't know why this time, because normally when I'm out camping in that capacity, I don't really sleep too well. That's why I don't mind just staying up and fishing all night, maybe dozing off a little bit. Anyway, I wake up in the morning, I look down there, and it's gone. Straight gone. Like, dang, my setup. And I really like this setup. It's been one of my faves. So, I remember thinking, well, I guess that means I gotta go get a new setup, you know. And I remember thinking what I was wanting back at the time, because I saw these dudes fishing down at the point there. This one dude had this white fishing pole with a white rod, with a white reel. And I just thought it looked really cool, and I kind of was thinking maybe it's time to get that setup. Well, anyway, I think that's the first time I really thought about that one. So I lose my setup. Well, about that time, this dude pulls up, and he's one of the regulars out there. I've seen him out there before. He comes out there in this little car. He fishes out there all the time. I put a filter in here. Now this thing ain't drawing right. Can't figure that part of it out. Anyway. So this dude shows up, and we're sitting there, me and Dee are sitting there, and I had another rod and reel with me. I probably set that up and had that out. We're sitting there, and it's kind of getting warm out, and we're hanging out, and this dude's just, you know, he shows up to fish. Well, next thing you know, I hear this bzzz. It's not a fishing pole. This dude's got a drone. He's flying his drone around a little bit, and I'm like, that's cool, you know. The next thing you know, he's working on the drone. He's got some kind of a contraption he's working on. Well, what he had is some kind of thing he made where he takes the drone, hooks his line up to it, his fishing line, and sends it out to the lake. And it had like this drop system where you could push a button and it would drop the sinker and the hook and the bait into the water. Just drop it. So I'm watching him do this, and I'm like, that's cool, because what he can do now is he can send his bait out way farther than he can cast. I'm like, that's cool. So he gets it all set up, and he's got his pole on a holder, and you can see the line, and he sends it way out there, like probably a good 300 yards. And he goes, and you hear, he hits this button, and you hear go, boom. The line drops, and then the drone comes back and lands. And now he's got his, he sets his tension, and he puts his pole down. Now he's got his line out there way past. Oh, that's cool. I'm thinking, I wonder what he's gonna, what that's gonna produce. So we're all hanging out and fishing and stuff, and next thing I know, about an hour, he goes to check his line. So he's reeling this thing in. Well, he's got something. And we're all like, there's a few of us down there hanging around. We want to know if this guy caught something, sending his line out that far. He pulls my fishing pole in. It comes blunking right out of the water. His hook got around it, and he pulls it up. Now, I don't remember exactly what he said. But I remember D went over and said, hey, my buddy lost his fishing pole last night, and that's it, or something like that. He's like, I remember the guy looked over at me and goes, is that true? Did you lose a fishing pole last night? I'm like, yep, that's the one. Well, he was really cool about it, and he believed me, and it was true. But, it was a little awkward, because how does he know? I could have just been like, hey, that's my pole. Anyway, I get my pole back. He's happy. He gives it over to me. It's all saturated. Now think about this for a minute. What are the odds that I could lose a fishing pole of all the spots it could be out there? This guy shows up with a drone, hooks his line up to it, sends it way the hell out there, reels in and catches my fishing pole. What are the odds? They're astronomical. They're astronomical. That at that point, at that time, on that day, under those circumstances, that he would catch my fishing pole that I now treasure, because it was gone. This baby was gone. Now ever since, I cleaned it and I re-oiled it and everything, and it works, but it's got a little scuffy to it, so it's never been the same. But man, getting this one back like that is crazy. And yes, I caught a few nice carp on that trip too with this. This is carp killer. Now that is wild. How could that possibly happen? So I got her back, and I'll treasure it forever. That's my story. Thanks for watching another fishing story. And I got more, so be looking for them. Yeah, that's crazy stuff. Gotta get this thing to work right. It doesn't draw right. Yeah, that's my story. What are the odds? What are the odds?